Well, the council has asked you to come and see me and see if we can't work out an agreement that's appropriate for both of you in terms of the best interests of Sarah and Daniel. And I wondered if you could tell me a little bit about what's happening in the last month. Perhaps if I could ask you to begin, Debbie, in terms of where the children are living currently and what the arrangements are, and then we can see what the differences between you are and see where we go from there.
Well, the children are with me in the matrimonial home. Michael left a month ago, and I have let him see the children on several occasions, but the children aren't happy seeing their father. They've said they don't want to see him. They're very unhappy about the separation. When they've come home, they're very upset. They're crying. It takes me hours to settle them down. Yeah. And I just don't know how they're going to cope with this.
Okay. So they're currently living in the family home with you, and they're spending time with their dad. Michael, what's your feeling?
I think that Deborah's a little, she doesn't have a grasp on the situation. I've seen these kids now 5 times over the last month. They are happy to come with me. We have a good time. We've done a lot of things together. They enjoy being with me. They're obviously it's strained because when I was living at home, they were seeing me daily, constantly. But I don't think that Deborah's helping them at all. I'm having a great difficulty in coming back and watching her dissemble. When I bring the kids back home, she starts crying.
How old are the children?
5 and 7.
5 and 7. And the older one is?
Daniel.
Daniel. So Daniel's 7 and Sarah's 5?
Yes.
Okay. It's not unusual for them, by the way, to have this tension and lots of crying when they go back and when they come forward, and some apprehension. And so it's perfectly possible for them to have a good time and when they're with you, Michael, but also express real concerns and reservations when they're with you, Debbie. And that's not an unusual situation. But let me just see now, what's the difference between you? What is it that brings you here?
Well, the difference basically is this. Deborah says that I can be a part-time parent and I can see my kids every second weekend from Saturday morning to Sunday night if I see them alone, and so long as she maintains control over it.
Okay. What does Michael want?
I want. These are my children. I am one half of their parents. I want the kids half time.
Okay.
And effectively, I can't. I mean. When we were living together, I was spending most of the time with the children.
So you'd like to have the children spend half of the time with you?
Yeah. And
half the time with Debbie?
I think so. I don't see that it's inappropriate in our circumstance.
Okay. Debbie.
I don't think he wants to see the children. I think
what
he's
do you
using
want, Debbie?
that.
What do you want?
Well, I want him to come back. My children are devastated. I'm devastated. We had these plans. We had plans for us and for our children, and he's destroyed that, and he's given me no reason. All of a sudden, after 15 years of marriage, he says, that's it, I can't stand it anymore, and I think you should know, he's seeing someone else, and he's exposing our children to that other person.
Help me understand, Debbie, what it is you're looking for me to do.
Well, I'm here because I don't want to go through the court system. If we're going to separate, and I don't want a lawyer or a judge shoving an agreement down my throat.
That's wise. That's wise. Okay. So what you want me to do is to mediate, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's clear that I'm not going to work with you to get back together. If you want to do that, there are other people competent at doing that. That's not my area of expertise. What I'm going to do is to define the problem between the two of you, see what options there are to solve that problem, and help you solve that problem in a way that's mutually acceptable to you and in the best interests of Sarah and Daniel.
For me, it's the issue of being able to deal with my children on an honest basis. She lies.
So you'd like to have them, right?
Yes.
You'd like to have them half of the time. Debbie, if you were to structure the arrangement for the parenting, how would you structure it?
Well, I think the children need a home because I think they have a home. And I don't think he's prepared to give them the proper kind of a home.
That was an issue. We will deal with it because obviously it is an issue between you. But assuming that was not an issue, then how much time would you want Sarah and Daniel to spend with their daddy?
Well, the children love their father,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to keep the children away from their father.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose if we could sort out the other problems, I'd want him to see the children as much as he could and as much as their schedules allow.
She is misrepresenting me to the children on a constant basis. She tells them that I'm sick. She tells them I'm depressed. She tells them that poor daddy doesn't know what he's doing. Poor daddy has a mean friend. Poor daddy has a friend who has taken your daddy away from you.
Very, very hard when you get divorced, isn't it? To deal with all of the emotions and all of the things that happen.
She's a professional woman. She's a smart lady. I have a lot of respect for her.
Okay,
She moves in those circles. She knows what she's doing.
Well, I don't see how the children can live 1 week here and 1 week there.
Okay.
I think it'll be too hard on them, and I don't think he's being fair to them. He's the one that broke up this family.
Okay. Are there any other problems?
I don't think they should be exposed to this woman.
Okay. The woman is, you're living with somebody, Michael?
No, I have a relationship
Mm-hmm.
with a woman that I've come to know
Mm-hmm.
over the last
Okay.
period of time. That, and I can honestly say, this isn't the reason that I left. The reason I left is I was sitting at home and dying, waiting to die in that house. I'm sitting at home looking after the kids. Mommy's got a meeting. Mommy's at the hospital. They need their mother. They love their mother. But all of a sudden, when I decide that I'm drowning and if I don't get out, that's it. All of a sudden, I'm a bad bastard.
I'm hearing Debbie say that. I'm also hearing her say that they love their father and they need their father, and she would like to work it out so that they could spend and be with their father. That's what I'm hearing on two levels. So those are the issues of conflict between you. And those are the issues that we need really to focus on and get some agreement on, right?
Well, I don't think he should be letting his girlfriend sleep overnight and sleeping in the same bedroom with our children in the house. I don't think it's right.
Okay. Let me ask you now a question. If, excuse me just 1 second, but what is her name?
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. If Jocelyn is not sleeping over, right, would you feel comfortable then around working out some arrangement with the children? Being
I'd
with their
feel
dad?
more comfortable. I'd be more comfortable as well if he had a house not too far from ours so the children could go back and forth on their bicycles.
Well,
Quite
what sort
easily.
of car I should drive. Tell them about where I should take the kids on the afternoons.
Okay.
Tell them about,
And you,
Come on,
Michael, would
Debbie.
like to make your own decisions about these issues?
of course, this is just, it's
Okay.
ridiculous.
You've been living apart for a month. You're both very angry with each other. It's perfectly legitimate, and that's perfectly normal, too. Although, interestingly enough, so far today, I've not heard any serious differences emerge between you as father and as mother. There's a lot as wife and husband. There, you're way apart. But not as mother and father. And I'm wondering now, then, where you want to go.
He's a good father. He's
A good
been
father?
a good father. I
Mhm.
can't deny that. And the children love him, and he loves the children.
Yeah. In the short run, Michael, could you agree that Jocelyn would not sleep over when the kids are with you?
What's short run?
2
What's
months?
short run?
2 months? Get to 2 months down the pike and have a little more experience about what it's like to live apart. Give the children a sort of chance to settle in.
I can live with that.
Could live with. Debbie, if for the next 2 months, when the children were with Michael, Jocelyn did not sleep over, well, she will be around because obviously she's playing a role in Michael's life, and we all have to come to recognize that at some point. But if she's not sleeping over at that point, how would you then feel about sharing the parenting?
Well, I want the children to see their dad, but why does she have to be alone?
There's a lot of work to be done by all of us in terms of working out all of the details. And I'm wondering if we could move just for the next 2 months in a sense of trying to get a little space for both of you as we think through all of the issues.
Well, maybe if he would agree not to hold her hand and kiss her in front of the children. If that's just his friend, that's what he's told them, then maybe.
Okay. So you're saying that if Michael would agree not to be physically affectionate with Jocelyn once the children are there, you'll feel comfortable of moving off your position and sharing time for the children with both of you.
I'm not saying 50-50, but
Yeah,
I'd try it.
I'll live with it.
All right. Let's then do that for the next few weeks. Let's review it along the way, and let's get back together next week and talk then about some of the other issues that are going on between you, so that we can try and get the children clearly out of the middle of your fight as spouses.